This is music. Engage. Welcome to a contest entry video. This is my entry into What the Gyms contest to push for 200 subs. I think the channel has already reached that point, so that's great. Congratulations. But I still want to support the channel, so it's my entry, and it's also a fun theme because it's space themed, and I do like space opera and science fiction, things like that. The tasks are very simple. Up first, you have to be a subscriber to the channel. Secondly, you have to be involved somehow in the vinyl community. And then the first kind of task is to show a favorite piece of cover artwork on a CD or a vinyl that has to do with space. Then talk about your favorite or a favorite song that has to do with space. And then last, talk about your favorite space-themed movie slash TV show. So let's get down to business. Although it says CDs, vinyl, I will actually start out by showing some pretty cool space-themed cassette tapes. So the first one here is Armory's The Search. What I like about this one is, first of all, it tells a kind of a story. You have these sinister looking scientists taking notes, and then you can see in the background, probably is a view screen with I don't know, a sun going supernova or something like that. So it tells a story, and you can kind of speculate what's going on there. I think it has to do with the lyrical theme of the album, but I haven't really explored the lyrics yet. So I'm kind of just imagining, using my imagination here. Um, a thing I also like about it is that it kind of combines the kind of nihilism of 80s thrash metal cover artwork with science fiction and space opera, which I really like. This is speed metal, by the way. They call their style hyper speed metal because they write about science fiction. The next one, First Contact by Contact, is obviously space themed because the background is space. Then you have the Sphinx in the foreground. So I kind of imagine that it has to do with, the kind of conspiracy theory that aliens were somehow involved in ancient Egypt. Um, and it probably again has to do with the lyrical theme of this EP. I haven't explored the lyrics yet, so I don't know. One thing I really like though is that the kind of star themed kind of visuals kind of carries on it, you know, on the cassette tape itself. I don't know if you can see it, but there's glitter in the cassette tape, which kind of represents the stars here. So I kind of like that. So I think that's pretty cool as well. And the last one here, Rematerialization Fails by Tarek Noor. It features a spaceman who's melting, um, and Trekkies will immediately recognize Tarek Noor as the Kardashian name of Deep Space Nine, um, because this is a death metal, death thrash, or thrash death maybe, metal band that's Star Trek themed. And what I really like about the cover artwork is that it kind of combines, space and science fiction and space opera with the gore that you see on a lot of death metal cover artwork. And it's also kind of cartoony and kind of fun in a morbid way, which I also appreciate. And just the idea of Star Trek themed death metal is kind of fun. Okay, some vinyl. I've shown a lot of these already, but up first, Agent Steele's Skeptic's Apocalypse. And a lot of people don't like this. They think it's boring. It's just a picture of the surface of the Earth viewed from space. This is a speed metal band, and if you kind of view this piece of cover artwork against the backdrop of what this band is all about, I think you will start appreciating it in a completely different way. Agent Steele, um, they write about conspiracy theories, aliens visiting Earth, governments being in contact with aliens, alien abductions, and things like that. And what's more, they believe in it, or the main person in this band believes in this. So against this backdrop, I think this piece of cover artwork suddenly becomes like very ominous and fills you with cosmic terror and horror, because now you're suddenly wondering, so is this the sun, or is it something else, or who is it that's looking at the Earth? Is it some kind of sinister alien force, or is it a sinister, a sinister organization operating, cooperating with the aliens to take over the Earth? What's going on here? So, and then suddenly, I think this becomes a brilliant piece of cover artwork. I really enjoy it for sure. Up next, just a classic Boston's spaceship guitars, flying away from an exploding planet. My dad had this when I was a kid. I think he still has it actually. I always liked it. It's got space, it's got guitars, it's got some, pretty cool color scheme, some contrastive colors, blue and orange. Just, and it's a classic. And it tells a story as well. The next one also kind of tells a story. Pestilence's spheres. You got this weird contraption flying through space. I like the way space is kind of represented. Got some planets, got some stars. You got what looks like the center of maybe it's a black hole, maybe it's the center of a galaxy. Who knows? This is a masterpiece musically as well. I think it's jazzy death metal, very experimental. So if you like progressive music and you don't mind some more extreme progressive music, do check it out. Up next, Sacrilege, Turn Back Trilobite. This one is more like a landscape, or I guess a spacescape kind of painting, piece of cover artwork. And I just like it. I like the visuals of it. It just looks good, I think, and it has some planets with some moons and stuff. The logo looks pretty cool too, and it's a very good album as well. And the last one I'm going to show you also, I would say, tells a story. Master Project Genesis by Target. This is a masterpiece again of technical thrash metal. And it tells a story. It's another kind of situation. It looks like you're looking at a view screen. You got a hand, got a weird kind of demon angel creature bursting out from some kind of laboratory equipment glass thingy here. And so there's this kind of, science sci-fi, but you also have like parallel Earths in the background and space in the background as well. So you do have some space themed kind of sci-fi as well. Again, tells a story. You can speculate what's going on, what is the narrative. Master Project Genesis. Okay, moving on to the second task, talk about a favorite space themed song. I'm going to talk about Solar Wind from Blaze Bayley's Infinite Entanglement. I could have picked any song from this because it's a space exploration / cybernetics themed, sci-fi themed concept album, and it's actually the first one in a trilogy of concept albums telling the story of a kind of a cosmonaut, William Black. So I could have picked any song, but I went with Solar Wind because it's probably the most overtly maybe space themed song. And it's also a great song. Blaze Bayley sounds fantastic in this song. He sounds fantastic in all the songs, to be honest. The chorus is super catchy. You cannot help but sing along to it. We're talking traditional heavy metal with an epic feel to it. Some people might even detect some kind of power metal feel to it. I don't know about that, but it's a great, catchy song with some great vocal melodies, and it's a great album. And Blaze Bayley is a great singer. He deserves a lot of praise. I think he was unfairly bashed when he was in Iron Maiden. His solo career is consistently top quality stuff. Okay, so that was his favorite space themed song. So, favorite space themed movie or TV show? Hands down, favorite space themed movie, The Empire Strikes Back. It's my favorite movie of all time. Um, I do like the entire original trilogy, Star Wars trilogy. Here's another edition of the soundtrack from The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, I do like the entire original trilogy. I think it's a great, just adventure movies, epic space opera. But The Empire Strikes Back is a bit darker. It's a bit more personal, and it's my favorite movie of all time. I'm not an OT, as they call it, purist. I do like actually Phantom Menace. I like that one very much, and The Force Awakens. I think that's a pretty good movie too. And Rogue One and Solo, I think they're great movies. They are much better, I think, than any of the new trilogy movies, to be honest. Non-Star Wars movie, The Wrath of Khan, and I'm not talking the kind of reimagination of it, basically the remake that was, I think, Into Darkness. Oh no, I'm talking The Wrath of Khan. Great, great Star Trek movie. Um, uh, Silent Running, I think, is a great kind of environmentalist space themed movie. So yeah, I like a lot of space themed movies. Um, TV shows, just going back to Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think is great. It has some problems in the finale, I think, in terms of compression of the narrative. The Mandalorian, I think is great. Book of Boba Fett, I think is great. Um, I really enjoy Resistance, actually. I think that one is the animated show. Clone Wars. I find the Ahsoka Tano character a bit annoying in the first couple of seasons, but um, things improve, and I think it's a very, very good animated show too. Bad Batch, I really enjoyed that as well. I think actually Disney, they've done a pretty good job with the kind of like the TV series part of it. They did mess up the Skywalker saga, in my opinion, but that's a different story. The old Droids animated show, I think, is fun too. So that's another kind of fun space themed show, although a lot of it actually takes place on different planets. Space Precinct, I think, is a great it's kind of like um, cop show in space. It's visually very impressive. It has lots of 90s cheese though, but that's part of the charm. Um, Battlestar Galactica, but the one from the late 70s, I think is great. I really enjoy that. Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, the second season. The first season is kind of like tinfoil disco sci-fi. It's kind of silly and cheesy, but it's fun. And then in the second season, they take more of a Star Trek kind of turn. It's about exploring space. It becomes a bit more serious in terms of the topics. Sadly, people didn't like that, so it's cancelled. But I think it's a fantastic science fiction season there. The second season of Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Robotech, the first third, the Macross part of it, I really enjoyed that. Um, it has space travel, it has aliens attacking the Earth, it has uh, space fighter planes that turn into robots. Music plays a key part, although the music in the show is not great. It's kind of like an Americanized version of a Japanese anime. Um, so I um, so it has some weird things going on, but it's still visually a great anime show, and I would recommend it if you like anime and if you want to go back and see some of the first anime series that we kind of like would watch in the West. That's one of them. I also like Macross Plus from the Macross universe and Macross 7 as well. Um Great stuff. Um, Galaxy Express 999, the animated, that's an anime too, animated series from the late 70s. Um, Very dark, very brutal, very fascinating too. It's about trains traveling from planet to planet. The main character, Tetsuro, I think is his name, is a boy who wants a mechanical body so he can live forever. You got people getting mowed down and killed in it. Um, it's a great kind of space opera. Also in Robotech slash Macross, you have main characters that get killed. So, there's some life lessons there. So lots of great science fiction. My favorite science fiction series, however, Star Trek. And the original series, the two first seasons, fantastic. The animated series is kind of like the fourth season of the original show, pretty good too. The third season has, some bad episodes. uh, Next Generation from season 4 and onwards, fantastic. The first couple of seasons have some unwatchable episodes, but also some fantastic episodes. Deep Space Nine, just brilliant throughout. Voyager, a lot of people don't like that one. There's some weird choices in writing and stuff going on, but I really enjoy it. I have some good memories of watching it from when I was a student. Enterprise, terrible, terrible, terrible theme from the first two seasons. Some pretty rough ride, the two first seasons too. The third and fourth season are pretty good as far as I remember. Discovery, the first season also kind of like a rough ride. Very often it doesn't even seem like it's Star Trek, but there's some pretty good episodes too. The second season is just a love letter to the original series. I haven't seen the third season yet. Lower Decks, fun. Picard, I think that's great too. There's some narrative compression issues as well. But yeah, I like Star Trek. So that was my contribution to or entry, I would say, into What the Gyms contest. Do check out his channel. If you like science fiction and space opera and music, do make an entry into his contest if you want to. For now, make it so.